What's going on, Snapchat? Chilling. First things first, I have a couple things to get off my chest. Right? One, this thing where I do these videos and just come on Snapchat and just talk at random, a lot of that's going to come to a close. As you've been seeing, maybe the past few weeks, I ain't been on here talking, right? And there's a reason for that. I've reached the breaking point. It's not so much that I don't love recording content. I do, right? But I am someone that practically wants to help people, right? The problem with that is motherfuckers really don't want help. What they want is an audience, right? I'm not about to keep getting on this motherfucker talking to people that don't want to actually, well, just really mostly talking to myself, but like talking to motherfuckers that don't actually want help. Like, folks really don't want advice for real. You think they do. They act like they do. They subscribe to people that talk about it, but they don't actually take the advice that's given and use it in a practical fashion. Meaning, like, you hear somebody say something that could possibly benefit you, right? What you do, maybe you do or don't do this, depending on who you are as a person. But either you listen to it and then don't apply it, listen to it, scroll past it, listen to it and act like a nigga ain't said nothing, or listen to it and then pretend that the shit that a motherfucker saying ain't no shit that's gonna benefit you, right? I've come to understand in the grand, especially the last couple weeks, that motherfuckers really don't give a fuck about you talking. This is me talking for me, right? I'm just letting motherfuckers know that this type of thing, I'm not gonna be doing this a lot more. Like, at this point, if for me, I might do this maybe once in a blue, or just if something like really I feel that strongly about, but just at the rate that I was doing it for free, nah. Like, I'll tell a motherfucker some shit if they really like practically need it. Like, I'll tell it to you as a person like I'll contact you as a person verbatim and tell you, but just giving advice in general, that's over with. Like, that is over with. That is over with. I'm done telling motherfuckers shit to help them. My advice and the shit that I'm telling motherfuckers are just the things I speak on. They're better off meant for a person that's going to actually apply it. And that just depends on, that varies person to person. Like, personally, I used to wonder why motherfuckers say the game is to be sold, not told. Like, that phrase used to never make sense to me, because I used to always think to myself, like, nigga, if you know some shit, why don't you tell a motherfucker? I get why now, right? Because if a motherfucker gonna keep asking you for advice, or just people in general, they're gonna seek advice or want some sort of help or some sort of direction, right? You should pay for it. Yes, I'm starting to really understand why that's a thing, right? Because motherfuckers ain't got time to keep telling you shit for you to fuck up advice, to come back to ask for more advice, to ask for advice, to not listen to it, or to get angry at the advice or misinterpret the advice. Like, dog, you gotta understand something. People that give advice or try to help others with information, these people are humans. Meaning, like, there's a limit to a lot of this shit motherfuckers gonna go through for the sake of giving advice, right? And if a motherfucker ain't getting paid for it, I can see why a person would stop talking. Like, okay, if this shit ain't practically doing anything for you verbatim, like, okay, a lot of shit I say is almost better off spent on myself, so to speak. Like, okay, there's 50 Cent in G Unit, there's Nelly in the Saint Lunatics, there's Eminem in D12, right? I can see why 50 Cent, Eminem, and Nelly were the motherfuckers out the group that were famous, right? That really, like, went somewhere, right? Because the person that works hard to get everybody else on is the person that's the driving force behind all of it, so to speak, right? Meaning, everybody ain't got the advice or the things that you take in, or the moves you need to make as the person that's spearheading a lot of this shit. That is not some shit that's meant for everybody. Like, there's one Jay-Z, there's one P. Diddy, there's one 50 Cent, there's, one T.I. out of Grand Hustle. Like, there's individuals that really take this shit somewhere else, and that's not meant for the grand public, right? Meaning, like, everybody's not gonna take the advice and then run with it and really make something of your advice, right? And honestly, that's my fault for not realizing that earlier, right? That is on me for not understanding that is not most people. Most people are not going to take your advice and do something practical with it. They just want to hear you talk for the sake of entertainment. Like, okay, I'm better off coming on this motherfucker with a gimmick, right? It's just, I be trying to be real about shit that's authentic to me, and I be thinking I'm getting somewhere when I'm really not, right? And that is my own fault. And again, it's one of those things. Look, I don't mind talking if I'm getting some of the same energy back, but the fact of the matter is, as a person that gives advice for free, you're not going to, right? Which is personally, because one of the big points of this whole thing, I am personally sick to my stomach, and I mean it, because a lot of things don't get on my skin. I can't take being misinterpreted anymore, personally. Like, I can't do it no more. Like, the lack of objectivity from people to me is too much. I'm at a breaking point with it. Like, I can't keep doing this shit where I say a point, mean it one way, nobody asks me questions about why I said what I said, versus they respond to me with feelings, right? Or how they felt about what I said. And listen, I understand that's just people in a general sense. That's fine. I'm saying, like, I really didn't think it took that much brain power to take a step back and be like, okay, well, why do you feel that way that you feel, right? What I've come to understand and learn as of the past month is that motherfuckers ain't gonna do that. They're gonna respond with how they feel, right? Which brings me to my next point, all right? I'm gonna make this short and sweet, all right? And I'm pretty sure somebody's gonna misinterpret this, but I'm gonna make it short and sweet. Women, right? Your feelings and the way you process information as a woman is not going to allow you to get any practical help that you actually need to, like, better yourself. That's it. Like, I'm not going to add no more slander to it. I'm not going to, oh, bitches ain't, I don't give a fuck. I'm telling you, I'm past giving a fuck about helping women, so to speak. Take that how you want. I'm not trying to make that into something nasty. I'm just telling you, your emotions and the way you process information is not going to allow anything practical to get inside here. That's an open and closed point. Like, personally, if I'm not getting paid for this shit, it ain't worth it to me no more. Like, okay, I still like YouTube. I'm not going to lie to you, right? But I think I want to take it in a different direction. At some point, maybe in the future, I'll come back with better equipment, you know what I mean, in a whole different direction I want to go in. Because personally, I'd rather do some other fun shit. Like, I like watching wrestling. I like watching reaction videos. You know what I mean? I do like a lot of anime. I'm into that type of stuff. Like, this giving advice shit, one, everybody's doing it. Two, everybody's doing it wrong. And three, it's an oversaturated market, really. And then for a motherfucker to really get into it and stay into it for real, you got to really be getting paid for it, and the motherfuckers got to be listening. Like, because I'm telling you, to be a person that takes on the mantle of giving advice and helping others, like, okay, I'm not the one with woman problems as a guy. Like, that brings me to my next point. Men, listen, y'all ain't off the hook either. Like, just like women have their shit, men, y'all have y'all shit too. Like, I can tell you, there's guys I've said things to, y'all hear shit and then y'all keep doing the same shit that ain't, y'all won't take steps on things in anything realistic to get the shit you want out of life. You're not gonna do it, right? People are just, I'm saying this about people in general. Motherfuckers are not gonna, like, make the steps. Most people, 80% of people are not gonna practically take those steps. They're not gonna, like, change their diet. They're not gonna do anything different. They're not gonna give a hard look in the mirror. They're not, like most guys, they're gonna just keep with the pussy behind shit. Y'all gonna keep tricking off. Y'all gonna keep letting women do y'all how they do y'all. That's an open and shut point too. Like, I'm not trying to make that nasty. It's just certain things at this point in my life I'm done with. Like, and man, listen. I'm better off giving my own advice to myself. Like, I'm telling you, if a nigga ain't getting paid for this shit, it ain't worth it, bro. Like, I used to, like, have a love for this shit, but just the when you keep bumping a person against the wall and you keep running up against the same shit over and over and over and over. I've been doing this shit for 10 years plus. Like, nah, this is it. I really mean that. This is it. And this ain't no crash out shit. I'm just speaking my mind, and I'm trying to wrap it up in a tight package for you to get it. This ain't gonna be no 40-minute video. I'm just making points, and then I'm moving on with my life. 2025 ain't gonna be a lot of this. You know, it's just unfortunate. You know, personally, I feel like it's kind of unfortunate, but I mean, I think this was the natural evolution of it. Like, when I really think about it, like, I'm telling you, I've been on YouTube for a long time, and it ain't the lack of views that killed it. Like, it ain't the you know, I don't love, like, cause I mean, as far as like talking and making content, I like making points. I do like talking to people because I have a lot of shit up here that I want to share. But someone down the line that died, that one, I don't care to share my thoughts anymore. I used to like feel the need to get things off my chest. I don't feel someone on the line that went away. I look at people, sometimes I hear things said to me, and I just go, okay, and I leave it at that now, right? Because I know the argument that's going to ensue, or the back and forth that's going to ensue, it's not going to be worth it. Like, there's motherfuckers in the space, there's conversations I've had with cousins and friends, and motherfuckers will get mad about certain shit, and I'll have the answer in my head, and I can just tell by how a motherfucker talking that the shit ain't going to go the way I think it is. I'm sorry, it takes a certain person with a certain ear in order to hear advice objectively and take something from it and really build upon it. I mean, look, if you ask me, I don't think most teachers in the education system get paid enough. Like, and I can see why motherfuckers ain't rushing to do the job. But again, not making this long. This is an open and shut case. This is the end of it. At least for now. For me to come back on this motherfucker and give advice for real, motherfuckers' ears gonna have to start working, because I'm not finna keep talking for free. It's not finna keep happening. Man, listen, getting up at 1 in the morning to make videos after driving the truck all day, and sitting down, getting up at 3 in the morning and editing, and just for a motherfucker to hear the shit they want to hear? Nah. No. It got to get to a point where I realize what the fuck is going on. And that's another thing. I got to make it a point to where I am objective with myself and giving you a hard look in the mirror about what's actually taking place. But Christmas is over with. Today's Friday. I'm getting off work. Probably do some other side work. That's going to be my life. Take care of yourself and be easy. So you make whatever progress you want to make with your life. You do what you want to do with that information. Tough shit.